I'm Jay. My name's Jay Lee. I go by he, him, and I'm a new Advocacy and Communication Manager at Woori Center. My master's program in Seoul National University in South Korea. I was originally majored in anthropology, particularly specialized in linguistic anthropology, which I was interested in first of how people use two different languages in a mixed patterns as a growing up as a Korean American. So I had a lot of mixing of languages going on in conversations, which I was interested in pursuing as my research interest. And then when I went to Korea, I got interested into how different values, cultural practices are done through different dialects. I have a little bit of different story from everybody else in a way how I lived in Korea and I went, my elementary school I went, pretty much I started and finished elementary education in South Korea. And then a little bit of the middle school in Korea and then came back to the States. So I guess that's why I identify more with 1.5 gen friends, because all my friends were coming from with sharing the similar background, and it's just not really of my parents, but it was really of the people I meet, the friends I have, and their parents, the situations of their parents. I mean, there were a lot of undocumented families around my neighborhood, my friends, and it really doesn't, you don't really notice the difference or the particularities of the lives of undocumented. I mean, I think the life of first-gen immigrants is difficult for everybody. Whether you're undocumented, you're citizen, you're green card, whichever process you have to go through. First-gen immigrant raising children, I think, is very difficult. So I didn't really see the particularities until I moved on, until me and my friends got into the age of going to college. That's when we noticed that there is the big hurdle that blocks us, that can be a hurdle for some. And that's when I noticed the situations of, oh, that's why you were, your parents were doing this job and that job, rather than, you know. What I see is, I'm 36 years old. I would be turning 37, and what I see from kids these days, the younger folks, the youth around Woori Center that are volunteering at Woori Center, or I guess youth in general that are sharing the same cultural and linguistic heritage as I do. They're more mature than I was at that age. I mean, there are different parts that define them, but I clearly see how they are more. So I believe they could be second generations or third gen, fourth gen Koreans, but I see them as more involved, more engaged with the issues of the American society than I was ever when I was in that age group. So I'm really proud of them, but then at the same time, I wish them to try to understand the conservative sides of their grandparents, their parents. I think it really has to do with the era that Korea had to go through, the governments that Korea had to go through when they decided to migrate to the U.S. So, and the values they carry, even though the reasons for migrating could differ for everybody, but yeah, so I wish them to try to understand the context of their parents, and be able to embrace that into their narratives when they speak their cultural linguistic heritage to others, to themselves. Different things going on this election. I mean, I've never seen such an election with such uncertainty, so many uncertainties in terms of the candidate, in terms of the games they're playing. I mean, I shouldn't refer it as a game, but the politics that they are engaged in. That's why I guess everyone is saying that this election is really important. It's going to be the pivot point of the American history. In that sense, I really do wish American, Asian, and Pacific Islander Americans to vote, to show what they believe in, or to at least to show what they think, what they expect from the society, especially when we have no clear idea of how the society is going to turn out differently. So I think it's the first step of doing it. So when I moved on from my previous career of academic positions to life in nonprofit grassroots organization, my motivation was disappointment in the systems that I believe to be fair, to be critical of the wrong. So I hope that same thing that made me decide to leave doesn't happen in my second life here. And I thank you so much for this opportunity to share my thoughts, and hope you enjoy watching this.